Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to this week's episode of the Ringing the Bell podcast. This week, we're bringing you a special two-part episode with Belle soccer, and we're starting off part one with senior Brynn Stauffacher. How are you, Brynn?
Doing good. Trying to stay warm, you know.
It's very right now we're getting hit.
Yes.
We are getting hit with a lot.
Yes.
So, Brynn, is your senior season. You guys had a really phenomenal season. You guys started out undefeated. In your first 8 games, you guys won your first 6.
Yes.
What was sort of the team feeling like as you guys went through the season and then also going into conference play as well?
I would say for the most part, everyone, the biggest thing was being consistent and trying hard at practice and not like letting that go away, especially as we moved on, because you get that momentum when you are winning and you want to keep winning. And then we hit a spot, and I would say once we got past that, where we were kind of in the spot where we were losing a little bit more, it's hard to come past that. It's like the lows are really low. And so keeping the spirits up and motivating each other, working hard at practice, being strong throughout the season and remembering those moments, I feel like that was the drive for us, really.
Yeah. And you guys, with it being your senior season, you've had 4 seasons under Farhad. This team has gone through a lot of changes. What have you seen with this team going through from that first year? It was a bit of a low year.
Well, and especially for them, I came in the spring. So I didn't get that fall low season. I got the new, let's improve when we go forward. But I would say, sorry, finish your question. I'm interrupting you just to say,
good.
Just so you know, I wasn't a part of that, but got the repercussions of it.
But there's been a lot of change and a lot of great players have come in. Obviously, you guys had last year, you guys graduated Grace and Riley, and they played a key role. Obviously, this year with you guys, with Sherm played a huge role in that. You guys brought Ava back, but even bringing in first years this year with Mia, all-conference selection, and transfer in Kayla. What was it sort of like seeing that transition? And this team has really made that huge jump.
I would say I got to give credit to Farhad with his recruiting skills with that. Obviously, he's looking for those strong players. As for, transition, I think it was, the team just had to – we knew that those were our strong players, and we work off those players, and we look to those players to help us and make us improve and be better. And then as a team, we could that was, those are our leaders, and then other girls step up, and they're like, okay, we can motivate each other, we can work off each other, and so, I would say for the most part.
Just being able to follow one another.
Follow one another, see who our strong players are, and especially with the incoming class, it's really great to see a strong incoming class. And my big thing that I've always said is it doesn't matter what class you are, we all are a team. We can learn from one another. So learning from those incoming class, even as a senior, that's what only makes the team better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you guys have different leaders from, obviously Izzy was a senior. You guys had Brooke, who's a junior, and then someone like Mia, who comes in, all-conference player, 12 goals in a season. It really kind of shifts no matter what year you are.
Exactly.
But then switching over to, obviously, you're a student athlete, and you're from the area, you're a nursing major. What was it that sort of made St. Mary's stick out to you, both as a school, but also as a nursing? What made you go into nursing?
So I had heard St. Mary's was a really good nursing school before even coming to St. Mary's. So it's definitely on my radar, obviously, why I applied. But I didn't get any of the notices of they have senior preview days and nursing specific things, and I actually didn't go to that because I don't think I applied early enough to make that. So we had me and my mom, I remember, we came and we met with Belle Webb. She's the director here for nursing, and so she kind of just gave us the rundown what the program's like, showed us around. Obviously we got to look at the nice nursing facilities, and before, obviously when I was a freshman, it wasn't nearly as nice as how it is now. They've just kept adding. But she played a big role in my decision. It's obviously getting to hear from someone who is part of the program, it's important to make a decision off of that. And then St. Mary's always gets a scholarship to everybody. So that, based on other schools, that was also a very vital decision. But I would say just also just being on campus, you can tell the culture here, everyone's super nice and inviting, and I just felt at home. And obviously, like you said, I'm from the area, so it was a good home away from home. I'm 30 minutes, so it's not like I was going home all the time, and I lived on campus. So Yeah, I'd say that's kind of.
And when you were just looking at college in general, was the proximity to home a big thing for you? I know that for a lot of high school students, like it's really kind of 50-50. You either
Right.
want to stay close to home or you want to get as far away
Yeah.
from home as possible because you have some kids like even on soccer team, like you have Shay from South Carolina,
Yeah,
you have
right.
3 girls from California.
Yes, we have
Was
kind of all over.
proximity a big thing for you?
I would say yes. I would very much call myself a homebody. Like I like being at home and around the area. I think knowing the area too really led me to want to be here. As for like far away schools, I didn't shy away from applying there, but a lot of my high school went to the same school, IU Bloomington, and as much as I like enjoyed that, like knowing I would have people there, I think also part of me just wanted to meet new people and not be in the same school for 4 years with the same people. So that also factored in with proximity. Like I said, I definitely liked being closer to home, close enough that if I needed to go home for an emergency or something, I could, but far away that I was still living on my own, getting that experience and not being next to my parents and with my family all the time. And then also, like I said, meeting new people and being surrounded by a ton of new people in a different environment.
I feel like high school students in northern Indiana specifically, you experience all my classmates are going to IU, they're going to Purdue, IU Indy. Like there's a very
they all
good
choose
selection.
the same school.
And it's really hard to find like, okay, I want to go somewhere where I can kind of be my own person and start my own journey.
And I hadn't heard too much about St. Mary's. Like I knew that they were the sister school to Notre Dame and I knew of St. Mary's, but like before coming to campus, like I said, to meet the advisor, I had not known like what campus looked like what the environment was like, what classes would look like for me and the structure of those classes, that sort of thing, like the program itself. So I think that also factored into it. Like I kind of had an idea of the other schools, especially like I said, with my high school, literally going there every year, new people went there, you could hear about what it was like to go there. So something different was definitely on my mind. Like I wanted to go somewhere different.
And then, so when we had senior day in the fall, on your form, you mentioned that you're going to stay in the area a little bit, but then you wanted to become more of a traveling nurse. Where did that idea come from and what sort of sparked that?
So my dad is a firefighter EMT and he has talked about like med flight stuff before and how he actually said I could get experience in it if we like wanted to do that. So that's kind of where the idea of maybe like doing something cool like that came from. And then travel nursing, I mean, it's all over the media. Like, so I'm like, I got that idea from there specifically. And then I just kind of kept watching people's videos and I was like, yeah, that sounds really interesting. And the idea of getting to travel different places and maybe figure out where I maybe want to live one day was also really big. But as for that idea is a little bit on the back burner now because I am actually coming back to St. Mary's in the fall to do their doctorate nursing practice program. So I'll become a nurse practitioner after that. And but that doesn't mean I'll shy away from traveling once I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm like, there's more opportunities in that too. So
with coming back to become a nurse practitioner, what kind of made that decision? I know that continuing school, especially after 4 years, you've been doing school for 16, 17 years at this point already. What sort of made that decision?
So a lot of us, I honestly want to say probably most of the nursing program, especially once you make it through, like as a senior, you've obviously made it all the way through. We got an email about coming back and they were like, yeah, come back, like blah, blah. And so Belle Webb, the director, she was also one of my professors at the time when we got the email. And she was just very big on like, if this is something you knew you kind of wanted to do in the future, I highly advise like coming back and doing it earlier because obviously then life gets in the way. Family, like starting a family, moving, paying off school, that sort of thing. It's like, she was like, a lot of people wait and then come back and then you're going through that program with a 2-year-old in your house and you're trying to maintain that. And so I was like, she has a really good point. And I knew I kind of wanted to become a nurse practitioner down the line. And a lot of people I talked to were like, I waited 8 years and then 8 years of nursing and then I went back to school. And I was like, I feel like that's just too long too. Because like I said, then you have family to worry about. And then I also had this like, I don't know to call it a stereotype or a stigma around like, I always thought like nurse practitioners definitely should be a nurse, like, have nursing experience before becoming, because that's like a doctor role. So I was like, it was very important to me that I had that. And with St. Mary's, it's an online program. So it's 3 to 4 years online. So by the end of it, I'll have 3 or 4 years of nursing. And I was like, so to me, that was like the perfect amount. I could get it done before life got in the way. And I also have a friend who was like, I'll do it if you do it sort of situation. So it was like, okay, I have somebody I know. And I did have somebody, I have a friend from high school who her sister came back and did it. And she's in that situation where she has a child and she's doing that. And she's like, it's definitely doable, but I'm excited for you to do it before these sort of things get in the way. So
I feel like with whether it is doctorates or even master's programs, people think that it's just going to be, oh, you're just getting, it's like riding a bike, you'll get right back into it. But it's so much harder when you're 5 years removed from school, whereas I have experience with this as well as the first year. It's a lot easier because you're going like, well, I had 6 classes in the spring. I'm going down to 1 or 2 right now. I feel like that's something that isn't talked about a lot for most people.
That break, it definitely affects people. I think they don't, they think, like you said, it's going to be easy breezy. Oh, I've done school before. I have this many years of experience. But when you take a break and you come back, I also think motivation and the drive is just not there. So like me, I'm going to finish up. It will just be like a summer break like it has been, and then come back and I'll still have that motivation and drive to do school. So that was also like a, let's just do it, like sort of situation.
And then, so as we start to wrap up with going back to soccer, what was it, as you mentioned, you didn't play your freshman year. What was it about soccer that, and St. Mary's soccer, that pulled you back into it to kind of get back into playing in that spring semester?
I would say the girls. So I met Holly, which she was here. I was a freshman when she was a senior. And I met her at a Notre Dame basketball game, as funny as it is. And my roommate at the time, Sophie, was playing softball. And we were kind of talking about her games and her schedule. And Holly had turned around and she was like, oh, like, who plays a sport at St. Mary's? And then she had said she played soccer. And I was like, oh, like, I played soccer, like, growing up and in high school. And then I was actually thinking about joining, but I just decided not to. And she was like, oh, my gosh, like, please come back and play. Because they do those winter workouts where it's not coach, it's just the girls. And she was like, come play with us, like, get to know the team, and then you can see if you like the environment. So I went and I did that, and then actually my freshman year as well, I met Izzy Sherm and Izzy Linus in a class, and they had said, like, just do it, just come try out, just play. So I would say the girls were a huge factor in that. Like, they were motivating me to at least give it a try, and then once I did, obviously I was the only person to try out in the spring that year, so all eyes on me kind of moment for that. But the girls were so inviting and so nice, and everyone was so excited when he had finally announced that I was on the team. And he had even told me that the input didn't only come from him. It was obviously you talk to the girls and you say, like, how was the dynamic? Did you like this person? And they were all had super positive things to say. So when I think about it, that's what drove me to play. Like, otherwise, I don't think I would have seen myself there, because I had kind of put it behind me once I made the decision not to. And then it was like, right in front of my eyes, like, okay, like, just give it a try, because it doesn't hurt to try new things like that. So. And
then with getting into those spring workouts, after taking a semester off of being an athlete, what was it like getting back into that and having to get back into that physical shape, as well as you're starting to have to balance that with classes now?
Especially when you mentioned physical shape. So that's kind of what drove me away a little bit, because I didn't play my senior year of high school. I just decided to step away from it and work instead. So it was like over maybe 2 years, a year and a half of time. I wasn't doing sports. I was just for fun playing maybe and going to the gym, that sort of exercise. And Farhad had sent me the workout like booklet that they had to do, and I was like, oh, I am nowhere near the shape that I need to be. And that's that was the biggest deciding factor in that. I was like, I don't want to give you this version of myself when I'm not where I need to be. So as for like going back into that, I would say the transition wasn't too bad. I was very ready to have like consistency and time management skills that you learn from playing the sport here. So I'm I would say I'm pretty much a scheduled person. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I definitely have my moments where I don't prioritize things and I procrastinate.
We all do.
But this definitely helped with that for
Yeah.
sure. I would say that as for transition wise, obviously, like I had mentioned, the girls were super motivating, so that helped. And with definitely doing those winter workouts before going into the spring, it was a nice
Yeah.
introduction into what kind of the expectation would be in the spring. So I think that helped with as for getting myself fit and ready.
Yeah.
And then obviously those were a little more sporadic, not super like planned throughout the week. It was more like come in when you can. So it was also a good introduction into having a set time put away for practice that I would
Yeah.
eventually be introduced to.
It wasn't like you're getting thrown into the
Right.
fire. It's like little baby steps. It's like, okay, we're
It's
going
like,
to get
that's just
back
what it's
into
like.
it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I definitely appreciated that because obviously I hadn't known what life was like before I had to do that. So
Yeah.
little introductions were very helpful.
Well, Brynn, thank you so much for coming on
Yes.
Ringing the Bell. We're going to do a little bit different approach. Normally we would go into our weekly recap.
Right.
Right now we're going to go straight into rapid fire questions.
Okay.
They're not too difficult, just kind of whatever comes to your mind first.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to get started with, obviously you're from the area, but what is your favorite restaurant in town?
Ooh.
Whether it's here or if it is kind of over a little bit towards home.
Okay, let me think for a minute. I'm like, I know the area. I go to a lot of places around here, so I'm like, this might be a part where you cut out because I'm like, yeah, put me on the spot. I'm trying to like think where do I go the most is more of like a favorite restaurant. So I'll say a little bit of like a mix of things. Like in South Bend, I find myself going to like anything on Eddie's really, like Brothers and I went to O'Rourke's once, which that was really good too. So I would say those two are kind of like the ones I would probably go to around here a lot. I haven't explored too much outside of that. Like there's every time I see it on like actually TikTok. Sometimes there's TikToks around here that they're like, have you tried this place? And I'm like, wow, that's a new place I've never even heard of.
Yeah.
But those two I find myself with friends a lot going there. Mishawaka area, I would say we went to Aspen Tap House a lot before it closed, and now it's closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like a shock for everyone around. And then Flat Top was also another one that closed. That was super popular with my family. We liked going there. But, and then really out of the woods, like 30 minutes away, Essen House, however you say it. That's a big one in my family. That's like a special treat. If we're out in that area, we'll go there.
Yeah, that's like right down the road from where I grew up. That's it's Amish food.
Yes, like
you can't beat
hidden
it.
gem. Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot beat Amish food.
No, yes, that I would say all-time favorite probably there, but like I said, we go there so sporadically. Like it's sweet. It's like a treat. So
it's hard to get over there from being in this area as
right,
well.
exactly. Like a lot of times when my sister played basketball for Penn, and they would play at
Northridge.
We would go. We're like, okay, let's treat ourselves to that. Or that's on the way to. We have a lake house in Angola over by Trine, and when we're on the way, sometimes we take that way. We're like, we can stop and do that.
That's why it was often donuts before class for me. Just going in, have a little TA study hall session before any class started. So I was like, just swing by and grab a donut and some chocolate milk.
And then they have that, what's Rise and Roll? A little bit up the
Rise
street
and
from
Roll
there
down
too,
in Chippewana.
Yes.
It's just a beautiful area.
Right, yes.
What is your favorite study spot on campus?
My favorite study spot, honestly, a lot of people probably say it, Rainbow Lounge.
Yeah.
Unless it's like really packed, then it's kind of hard and you see people and then you're just mingling.
Yeah.
So I would say Rainbow Lounge and sometimes the library. A lot of times freshman year, sophomore year, I'd go into those like upstairs private rooms. And I'm very much, I'm social. So if I see somebody, I'll talk to you and then I won't focus. So those are probably my two favorite spots. But I've also found myself with being a nursing major, being in Regina like a ton of the time. I find little spots in Regina and go there. So
I think a lot of us in the athletic department, knowing you, very social person, you'll talk to anybody.
Yeah, I'm like, I cannot, unless like I have done the study groups of people, and but we all are like, we have to focus and we can take our little breaks. But like I said, if I find somebody and I haven't seen you in a while, I'm definitely sitting and talking to you. So
on the field, you prefer a goal or an assist?
Honestly, in my position, probably assisting, because being a midfielder, that's a lot of what we do. Like there's a lot of times we score too because we work with our forwards and our outside wings to do that. But I would say I get a little bit more like happy when I help a person to get that goal. So assist for sure.
Who is your favorite professional athlete or professional team that you like to watch?
Okay. I'm so bad with names. Like, barely know anybody. Someone could put it on the screen and be like, who's this? And I don't know. So I'm going to go with professional teams. As for, like, college, obviously, Notre Dame all the way. I also don't mind, like, Tennessee. But Notre Dame. And then as for, like, professional team, I haven't really formed my own opinion with professional teams, so it's more of like a family what I grew into.
That's a lot.
So it was always Notre Dame is college, Chicago Cubs for baseball, and then Steelers for the NFL.
All right, I can agree with you guys on the baseball.
Yeah.
That's a good family right there.
Yes, yeah, I know. Because you have some, especially with people being from Chicago around here,
Yeah.
That's always a topic of discussion.
It's Cubs or White Sox.
Yes, and it's always Cubs. That's the answer.
It's 10 years anniversary is this year. It's a beautiful time.
Yes, right.
What is your spirit animal? Or if you were an animal, what would you be?
I think anybody that knows me would say, and this is why I think it myself, a dog, for sure.
Yeah.
I would definitely be a dog. I am a dog lover. I have my own, and so that would 1,000% be my answer every time. I think that's what I answered on the video thing that we got asked. So, yes.
I think so.
Yeah, dog.
What is your game day or pregame tradition that you always did?
Honestly, I think I've never really had like a big one. I like to listen to like more like music that will pump me up, like when I'm on my own sort of time. Like we always listen to music as a team on the bus. That's kind of like our ritual. We turn it on at like 15 minutes out to being there, and actually some girls will start turning around and be like, "Where's the music? When are we turning it on?" So that's like big for me, music, and then socializing with my team. I always I'm never really too nervous beforehand unless we know it's a good competitor we're going up against. So talking with my team and kind of putting that aside for the time being and then focusing once we get into practice and before the game. But communicating with them on how their day was or distracting myself sort of thing, you know?
What was your favorite cleat to wear on the field or brand?
I think I have grown up like always in Nike. I did Puma for a little bit, but I think Nike, after a while, I always went to Nike. So I would 1,000% probably say Nike.
Yeah. If you could play any other sport at St. Mary's, what would you play?
Ooh, I think I would play. I grew up playing softball a little bit, but I don't know that I would go back to doing that. I obviously chose soccer over softball for some reason at the time. I also did cheer and stunt looks. It's definitely a lot more intense.
It's very intense.
Which I've watched the practices sometimes, and I'm like, they are strong and they work hard. But I would say maybe one of those two. I haven't really experimented in the other sports. I would like to say tennis because of playing pickleball occasionally, but those are two different things too.
Yes.
So, but yes.
Okay. What is your coffee or Starbucks order?
I'm very sweet drinks. Like I do not like black coffee at all.
Understandable.
So I like lattes, vanilla, caramel. Like if I'm getting something basic, that's what I'll do.
Yeah.
Or chai tea, something like that. I like to get the ice white mocha occasionally from Starbucks. It's a lot of sweetness.
It's a lot of sugar, but it's good.
Exactly. So occasionally. But I also like any of the Starbucks refreshers is a good choice for me too. When I'm not feeling coffee, I'm like, that's always a good one.
It seems like student athletes around here, they love their refreshers.
Yes, yeah, because especially for people like, okay, being an athlete, like we drink a lot of water, but sometimes I find myself like not wanting to drink water. So a refresher helps me to be a little bit hydrated, and it's not water.
But you still get the flavor and
exactly.
the enjoyment.
It's something different, yeah.
And then lastly, what is your dream vacation spot?
Probably anywhere out of the country. I have never been out of the country. I really hope to. I would say anywhere in Italy or Greece. I've always like wanted to go there. But my parents just went to not the Maldives. It's kind of like Bora Bora, and they loved it. So anything like tropical, I would definitely find myself going there.
Perfect.
Maybe when I'm travel nursing.
Yes, you could. Brynn, once again, thank you so much for coming on Ringing the Bell. Again, this is a special two-part episode, so
Yes.
real quick, we're going to get into our Bell's Weekly Recap, and then part 2, coming up after that, we're going to sit down with your teammate, Lauren Ryan.
Yes.
So once again, thank you so much,
Thank you
and
for having me. I appreciate it.
good luck with your traveling nurse
Yes.
as well as your upcoming doctorate as
Thank
well.
you. I appreciate it.
Again, hopefully still see you around Angela as
Oh,
well.
absolutely. Yes, I will be.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brynn.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Gwyneth, and welcome back to your Bell's Weekly Recap. St. Mary's basketball split the home week. The Bells earned a 63-53 victory over Adrian. Annie and Kate Restovich and Liv Fry led the way with 11 points each, with Hannah Outlaw grabbing 8 rebounds. St. Mary's then fell 75-56 to Albion. Kate Restovich led the way with 13 points, with Liv Fry adding 10. Kate Passano grabbed 5 rebounds, and Ellen Notaro recorded 4 steals. Freshman Liv Fry earned Bell's Athlete of the Week for her performances this week and helping lead the Bells to a big MIAA victory. Fry averaged 10.5 points while shooting 50% from the field and 4 for 6 from three-point on the week. After a quick bye week, basketball will head to Grand Rapids to take on Calvin on Saturday. They then will head to Kalamazoo for a midweek matchup. That was your Bells Weekly Recap. Make sure to follow Bells Athletics on all social media platforms to stay up to date. Bell, yeah!
Welcome back to part 2 of this week's special episode with Bell Soccer, everyone. As we start with part 2, we're going to welcome in senior Lauren Ryan. How are you, Lauren?
Hello, I'm good.
So, Lauren, for you guys had an excellent start to the season. You guys started 8 games undefeated. You won your first 6, and then going into conference play. How do you feel like the season kind of went for you guys, and then what was sort of your guys' thoughts as like you guys were going through that unbeaten streak?
Yeah, so honestly, coming from like my freshman year,
Yeah.
our season then, it's way better.
Yeah.
But in general, honestly, I think it was surprising, but it also wasn't. We came in like very fit, very ready. We spent a lot of time preseason preparing, and so it paid off.
Yeah.
So very exciting, I think. Like, we were pleasantly surprised at how well we were doing, but just continued to remember that like that there's more to come, and that especially when we get into conference, that the play might be better, and there's a lot more pressure on it. But so obviously, like, finishing it out, that's always the hardest part, especially with people getting injured or just mentally making sure we stay into it. So hopefully next year, I'm excited for them. They're going to do better with that. But yeah.
And you guys were able to get, from every single class that you guys had a lot of production from everybody, whether it was Izzy, Ava with the seniors, all 6 of you guys honestly had a great impact this year. You guys had Brooke with the junior class, Bella, Danny with the sophomores, and even Kayla transferring in as a sophomore, and then Mia coming in and having her spectacular season. What was it like seeing really every single class was able to come in and contribute in their own ways, but it all just kind of bundled together into one great start to the season, especially?
Yeah, it's like awesome to see, because I don't know, like, you never think about it, but we're all very different ages, maturities, like, so it's exciting to see because we got a lot of great freshmen that came in, and every year you kind of develop more into it. And I remember, like, my freshman year, it's very nerve-wracking coming in as a freshman. So it's good to see that somebody can get on the field, whether they're transferring in or being a freshman or sophomore, and kind of make it happen and still be as excited and willing to maybe get past their high school and club things that go on. So yeah, it's awesome to see. I'd rather have a variety of classes out there than just seniors. So
it makes it a lot easier, because then it's not like, we're graduating 10 people in 2 years. It's, well, there goes the entire team. It's, well, we got 4 years of great players coming through, and it makes things, especially Farhad, it makes things a lot easier for him as well. But moving over to the student side of student athlete, your physics mechanical engineering major, what was it about St. Mary's that drove you here, and then also with picking your major? Because I think a lot of high schoolers don't understand that picking your major is a very difficult decision as a student, especially as a student athlete as well.
Yeah, so I did not like the all-girls appeal of St. Mary's. I will be honest. I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be weird. But the appeal definitely came from the program, the 4+1 program, and being able to get 2 majors in the time of being at a small school where I can play soccer, but also having like the entertainment of like a bigger school with football games and things like that. So that was overall like probably the biggest reason why I came here.
And so you mentioned the 4+1 program. I know you guys have multiple girls who are involved in that, and I think we have multiple student athletes at St. Mary's in general that are involved. And Farhad talks a lot about how that's what he pushes to his recruits a lot as well. Can you talk more about what the 4+1 program is and kind of how students are able to get involved with that early on?
Yeah, so it is not easy. Let me just throw that out there. But it's basically you're going to get 2 bachelors in 5 years. And I started taking engineering courses over at Notre Dame my sophomore year. And as you go, each year you'll change with how many courses, and you'll get less and less St. Mary's courses as you go. But it's also a good way to kind of get to know people over at Notre Dame, get like a connection with them and the school, you know, because normally you wouldn't go over there unless like, you know, you're socializing or working out or things like that. So, that's,
And then so obviously after you graduate here, you're going to continue that. What is next for you after you finish the 4+1? Is the plan to go back home or stay around here? What's kind of next for you after that?
Yeah, so I am planning on going for my master's in mechanical engineering, so I'm applying right now, and we'll see what happens with that, but I'm excited. Yeah, so the plan is that I would like to work in the engineering industry and medical aerospace, so hopefully the master's will help kind of get me totally ready for that versus like just doing school academic work. So,
do you have like a specific area that you're kind of looking to move towards? Whether do you want to go back home? Is the South, the West, Northeast? Like what's kind of, for Lauren, what's the perfect space for her right now?
Yeah, I definitely would like to get out of Indiana. I do love the Midwest. But I'm not sure. Honestly, I'm open. I don't know if I could go all the way to like Florida, California. Not a biggest appeal for me, but not sure. Wherever it takes me, we'll see.
And obviously the weather right now
is
not
I do love winter. I love skiing, but you know, it can get a little...
The flurries and the 3 degrees.
Yeah, no, not the biggest appeal sometimes when it's negative degrees. But
and the roads just suck right now.
No, yeah.
So what was it about, obviously you mentioned what brought you to St. Mary's in general. What was it about the soccer program that really, obviously when you came in, Farhad's first year starting here, what was it about the program here that made you want to continue playing soccer?
I love soccer. I think it's most definitely like the competitiveness of it. Anybody that knows me will say I'm like extremely competitive. So I always knew that I kind of wanted to play soccer, whether that was doing some sort of club or playing for a school. And being that the program really fit for the school, I looked into soccer and really was very interested into that, in playing at least here. And I don't know, I would say, I think I've always wanted to play, and this gave me a great opportunity of having a really competitive conference, working for the type of major that I wanted to go towards. And honestly, I didn't want to be super close to home, but this was like the perfect place so that people could watch me play soccer. Because honestly, like that does mean a lot, having people, friends or family come watch. So it was the appeal of all that.
It was a
together.
good distance enough to where it's you're not going home every weekend, but it's like it's not like you're never going home at all. But with that, with a lot of student athletes, not just at St. Mary's, we see it in every single Division 1, 2, 3. A student athlete will come in, they're ready to play their sport. 4 years down the line, they haven't played their sport in 2 years. Schoolwork gets involved with a lot of it. How are you able to stay so involved with soccer while also being able to focus on your major and being able to kind of combine the student athlete side of it and be able to excel in it?
I think it really matters. I don't know, for soccer, when I show up and play, it's kind of like an escape from everything. So I think that meant a lot, that I would show up, I could forget about everything else, let out all my stress, and like play something that I really loved, but also know that for me to play, for me to go to practice, and for me to go to the game on the bus, wherever I had to actually get things done.
Yeah.
You'll probably hear this from other people, but I think being in season is so different from out. I think I'm more productive when I know, well, I practice in an hour. Like, if I don't get this done, I am going to be more stressed. Or if I have a game and we're delayed, like this happens a lot with the weather. My assignment will be due and I won't have time to do it after, that kind of thing. So I think it really puts you have to like speed up your process and plan ahead. But there are also a lot of times when I procrastinate because
we all do.
I just want to play. So yeah.
I think a lot of our student athletes have had to experience it's nice being in season because you're like, this is my schedule. It's not going to change whatsoever. But then out of season, it's like, well, I need to go find time to do stuff myself. I need to work myself. I need to go work out. I need to do all this stuff. So it's good that being in season, it really helps you be able to separate that time specifically.
Though it is very weird, especially being retired at the moment. It's like, what do I do with my life? So it's very easy being in season to remember to do stuff.
Perfect. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us on Ringing the Bell. Right now, we're going to get into our rapid fire questions.
Sweet. They're
not too difficult. Just go real quick with it. Don't need to think too long or hard about any of it. So first one is, what is your favorite restaurant in town?
Ooh. My parents brought me to Cascade, which is a very nice restaurant, but it is so good.
Yeah.
Very good.
What's your favorite study spot on campus?
I really like Le Mans, but honestly, sometimes the second floor of the science hall is kind of, I don't know, it's got some nice lighting, very relaxing.
Yeah. On the field, do you prefer goal or assist?
Oof. I rarely get goals.
True, I know. You are a defender, defensive mid.
I like assisting. I think it means a lot.
You enjoy getting to celebrate with your teammate that you just set up. Who is your favorite professional athlete or professional team that you prefer to watch?
I loved watching the USWNT. Abby Wambach, she was awesome to watch.
Who is your spirit? What is your spirit animal? Or if you were an animal, what would you be?
My year in some calendar is a monkey, and I feel like it kind of makes sense
kind of
for
represents.
me, so I'm gonna go with that one.
Perfect. What was your game day or pregame tradition, ritual that you always had to do?
My teammates will say this. I am a little gamer, kind of like an iPad kid. I love playing games on my phone. I don't know what it is about it, but I love it.
There's just something
about
it. It just brings us back.
It eases my mind a little bit.
Yeah. You don't really have to think that much.
No.
What was your favorite cleat brand to wear on the field?
I wear New Balance. Puma. New Balance. I wear New Balance shoes, but Puma.
Okay, I was going to say, with soccer especially, it's usually Nike, Adidas, or Puma.
Yes.
So it's always a big.
Puma. I started in high school, and I feel like that's when you start to kind of the cleat matters. But
If you had to play any other sport at St. Mary's, what would it be?
I have always wanted to try lacrosse.
Yeah.
Now I watch it and I am really confused by it, especially I want there to be more physicality, but I've always wanted to try that.
Yeah, I could see you as a lacrosse player as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is your coffee or Starbucks order?
So I don't like coffee, but I've really gotten into chai, so I like an iced chai.
Nice. That seems like a chai.
I get
Chai's
made fun
starting
of for
to,
it, but I love it.
it's starting to become a very popular
It
thing,
is.
so it makes sense.
I don't know what it is about it.
And last, what was your dream vacation spot?
Oof. I went to Greece this summer for study abroad. I would go back in a heartbeat. So that is my dream.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful area.
Yep.
Well, Lauren, as we start to wrap up, thank you so much again for joining us on Ringing the Bell. And as we look forward, hopefully next year with the 4+1, we'll still see you around a little bit. Hopefully next fall, you'll be out at the field. We just want to see you across the field.
Yeah.
Because I know you'll be there.
No, I want to cheer him on. I love it.
Perfect. So thank you so much again,
Yeah,
Lauren.
thank you.
And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode of Ringing the Bell. Make sure you stay tuned for next week's episode as well, and make sure to follow St. Mary's Athletics on all social media platforms so you can stay up to date with your Bells. Have a great day, everyone.